But it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league.
We saw what happened last year. Caitlin Clark was targeted.
Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical.
I know what physical basketball looks
like. The WNBA is heating up after Natasha Cloud launched a sharp and unexpected attack on Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just a simple critique, it felt personal. Her comments have sparked a wave of intense reactions from fans and fellow players, lighting up social media with debate and controversy. What started as one bold statement is now turning into a major league-wide conversation.
What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
He's knocked out rookie season, Joel Lloyd. It's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting, there was no...
Imagine dealing with constant shoves, elbows, and blatant disrespect every time you step on the court, week after week, only to have people brush it off as just part of the game. It's not just frustrating, it's exhausting and demoralizing.
The white lady entered the league and started shutting y'all's asses up. She started knocking them down.
That's exactly what Caitlin Clark is facing right now. Natasha Cloud recently took things too far with comments that many fans saw as racially charged, and the backlash has been intense. But here's the truth, every time Caitlin gets knocked down, she gets back up even stronger. Fans see it. The league sees it. And now, Natasha Cloud is learning firsthand just how tough Caitlin Clark really is.
Natasha Cloud has come out and said, the new fans that have come into the league, a lot of them are racist.
In this video, we'll break down the controversy surrounding Natasha Cloud's recent comments, remarks that many are calling some of the most divisive in WNBA history. But this isn't just about on-court performance. Cloud's statements went beyond basketball, striking at Caitlin Clark on a personal level. What's remarkable is how Caitlin responded, not with tweets or interviews, but with quiet strength. She's let her game and poise do the talking, flipping the narrative without saying a word. Stay tuned as we unpack exactly what was said, why it's causing such a stir, and how Clark continues to rise above the noise.
So she went on with fellow racist Ryan Clark on the pivot, talking about how racist we are. They can't see over their own hate.
Natasha Cloud took things a step further when she said, "This is a black league." That comment didn't just spark criticism, it lit a firestorm. Many fans saw it as dismissive of Caitlin Clark's impact and began questioning what role inclusivity really plays in the WNBA. The remark struck a nerve, turning what could have been a conversation about performance into a much deeper and more controversial discussion about race and belonging in the league.
By the end of the first year, y'all all look like fools. The rookie made the all-WNBA team, but y'all got reality checked, and these players are mad. They wanted to grow the league as long as the league were a bunch of woke activists.
This situation cuts deep into the core of the WNBA's culture. Instead of addressing real basketball issues, like fouls, physical play, or fairness, Natasha Cloud redirected the conversation toward identity, implying that Caitlin Clark doesn't belong because of her race. By framing Clark as an outsider, the focus shifted away from the game itself and into a broader, more divisive debate about identity politics. It's a move that sparked intense discussions not just among fans, but across the entire sports world.
The vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit.
I know what physical basketball looks like. And I know that what I saw on Caitlin Clark last year was not physical basketball. It was target.
Instead of focusing on Caitlin Clark's talent or her performance on the court, Natasha Cloud shifted the conversation to whether Caitlin even belongs, based solely on who she is. That move steers the discussion away from real basketball issues and into territory that highlights exclusion over ability. It's not about who plays best, it's about who's being told they shouldn't be there, and that's a troubling message for the league and its fans.
Natasha Cloud hates Sophie Cunningham for voting for Trump. She hates America.
I tried to have open dialogue. I tried to have hard dialogue with her. And it is what it is. What you vote for this election, we're going to see. But my life depends on it. And if that don't matter to you, you can't tell someone you love them and then vote against their life. Period.
The WNBA is working hard to grow, more fans, more coverage, more packed arenas. Then someone like Caitlin Clark comes along, breaking viewership records and bringing in a wave of new attention. But instead of celebrating that momentum, players like Natasha Cloud throw shade and act like the league is some exclusive club. She accuses Caitlin of disrespecting the culture, but what's respectful about elbowing her, taunting her after hits, and trash-talking on repeat? That kind of behavior raises real questions about who's actually hurting the league's image.
Just because y'all are used to playing prison ball for decades doesn't mean it's ethical basketball. No one was watching, so no one cared. Now the world is watching the WNBA, and the new viewers are calling out unethical hoops. It's not racism. It's an unbearable product that needs to change. The players need to be better. The referees need to be better.
Caitlin Clark doesn't react, clap back, or complain when criticized. She simply keeps playing and succeeding. Yet, she's still criticized for not conforming. This raises an important question. Is her real flaw simply her success? It makes you wonder if the issue isn't her actions, but the fact that she's thriving and breaking records.
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reeses got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holdsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it.
So how do you?
It's cool.
T-Cloud, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical. Oh, they're going at them because they're stars. What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I have bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like, it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting. There was no nothing.
Right.
That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit. Like, if I'm just gonna be frank, like, it's all bullshit. What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is going to get played. Mm-hmm. Watch how Stewie gets played. Watch how Asia gets played. Watch how Enrique gets played. Watch how Khalid gets played. Go down the list of franchise players for every team. They be getting fucked up every game. It don't matter what position you are, what color you are, what school you came out of. This is how we feed our families. Our job is to go and win. And if we don't win, what happens? We get fired. We lose our jobs. So
facts. Caitlin Clark is getting mauled, no calls. Ryan Clark is a clout chaser that stinks at sports commentary. His co-hosts aren't worth mentioning. Natasha Cloud, a.k.a. Natasha Clown, is running the race baiting media because she's average at best in the W, and now she's stuck in Connecticut because she stinks.
Fans weren't fooled by Natasha Cloud's remarks. The online backlash was swift, with many calling her comments divisive, bitter, and even jealous. Even those who were neutral before have started defending Caitlin, frustrated by how she's being unfairly targeted. Natasha may have tried to make a statement, but what she actually revealed was how some players feel threatened by Caitlin's success. Instead of rising to the occasion, they try to tear her down. Every time Caitlin is shoved, elbowed, or hit with a flagrant foul, it's dismissed as just part of the game. This narrative is repeated again and again. For example, when Kennedy Carter delivered a brutal body check, it wasn't a typical part of the game, it was outright assault. While the crowd gasped and social media exploded, ESPN analyst Monica McNutt downplayed it as just how black women play the game. Natasha Cloud also insists Caitlin should toughen up, further minimizing Caitlin's achievements and the unfair treatment she's receiving.
There have always been the dominant teams. There's UConn. There is South Carolina. I think that the fact that Caitlin Clark started on a team that did not have mind-blowing talent existing and brought that team to a championship really says something about you as a player. And when you are ranking players, you are ranking them as an individual unit rather than a team.
Caitlin Clark faces unfair criticism, being told she's not ready for the intensity of the league, yet there's no real acknowledgement of the unnecessary hits or concerns for her safety. Instead, the constant narrative is that she needs to adjust. But let's consider this. If a white player elbowed a black rookie and then mocked her, while the media defended it as grit, would that be acceptable? Of course not. There would be public outcry, trending hashtags, panel discussions, and likely suspensions. Yet, Caitlin Clark doesn't react to the hate. She doesn't complain, beg for fouls, or join in the trash talk. Instead, she stays focused, determined, and rises above the negativity that's constantly thrown her way.
Association, they gave us a gym that I paid for, not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball room. I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlin Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, 2 fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple, 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where if you know as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2 in a row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Caitlin Clark takes the hits and keeps playing, but her critics keep twisting the narrative, trying to paint her as the problem. They suggest her presence in the league is somehow disrespectful. This is completely absurd, especially when you consider that Caitlin is drawing millions of viewers to a sport that has struggled for decades to get attention. Physical play is part of basketball, but cheap shots, targeted bullying, and off-ball violence are not. These actions expose the jealousy behind them. When prominent figures like Monica and Natasha dismiss such incidents as just part of the game, they set a dangerous precedent that undermines the integrity of the sport itself.
A lot of times you as an individual can really raise that team up and bring them to a championship. Breanna Stewart, who was ranked #1 in the top college basketball players of all time, but if she would have been on an Iowa team, would she have been able to win that championship also?
The message being sent is clear. If you become too successful or too popular, especially as a white player, don't expect protection, expect punishment. This isn't just a problem for Caitlin, it's harmful for the entire league. The public is starting to see through the smoke and mirrors, as reflected in rising ratings. Fans, both new and old, are rallying around Caitlin, not because she's perfect, but because they see when someone is being unfairly targeted. The average fan isn't worried about race, gatekeeping, or old grudges, they just want to watch great basketball. And right now, Caitlin Clark represents that. She doesn't retaliate or engage in petty back and forth, she doesn't play the victim. Instead, she dazzles on the court with her precision passes, long-range threes, and record-breaking performances. She consistently shows up, performs, and keeps the league thriving, while her critics are stuck in petty drama on the sidelines. This isn't just part of the game, it's a deliberate attempt to undermine someone who's already contributing more to the WNBA than many veteran players combined. The more her opponents try to break her, the stronger her support grows. Everyone loves an underdog, especially one who withstands constant pressure. Let's be clear, Caitlin Clark isn't being targeted for disrespect, for lack of understanding the game, or because she's weak. She's a threat. A threat to outdated narratives, to power structures, and to players who've been in the league longer without making the same kind of impact she has in just a short time.
The Mist, which is Breanna Stewart's team, is the second to worst team in Unrivaled. And Breanna Stewart, with her talent, with her just winning a championship WNBA ring on the Liberty, did not raise that team to any high level in Unrivaled herself.
Before Caitlin Clark even stepped onto a WNBA court, ticket sales for Indiana Fever Road games skyrocketed. Her jersey sold out in hours, and clips of her performances racked up millions of views. ESPN even moved WNBA games to prime time because of her incredible appeal. She isn't just a player, she's a walking spotlight. This kind of attention can make others feel exposed. Some teams in the WNBA played in near-empty arenas last season, while now, others are upgrading to larger venues to accommodate the Caitlin Clark effect. This shift must sting for the veterans who've worked for years with minimal recognition. Instead of embracing the momentum Caitlin brings, some players disguise their jealousy as cultural protection, claiming she isn't one of them or hasn't earned her place. Let's be clear, it's not about culture, it's about control. For years, the WNBA has been shaped by a small group of players who set the tone and dictated the narrative. They were used to getting praise regardless of their performance. Now, a young woman from Iowa, a place far from a basketball powerhouse, suddenly becomes the face of the league. This change threatens the identity, comfort zone, and perceived status of those who've been established for years.
And their ranking is that Breanna Stewart is the #1 best college basketball player of all time. The #2 best basketball player is Candace Parker. And then they have Diana Taurasi. And then they have Maya Moore. And then in that 5th slot, they slot in Cheryl Miller.
The media, particularly voices closely tied to the WNBA, often fuel these tensions when discussing Caitlin Clark. For every foul she takes, the response is that she should toughen up. Every shove is brushed off as just part of the game, and whenever she makes a highlight, it's dismissed as overhyped. The same outlets that have spent years urging fans to pay attention to the WNBA now express frustration that millions are finally tuning in, all because it doesn't fit their idea of the right kind of attention. This isn't about diversity, equity, or inclusion. It's simply about raw basketball talent clashing with mainstream appeal. That kind of organic power is uncontrollable. Let's be clear, players like AJA Wilson, Angel Reese, and Breanna Stewart are all exceptional athletes. But none of them have impacted the league's visibility like Caitlin Clark. It's not because of her race, it's because she's captivating. With shooting range that rivals Steph Curry, court vision like a seasoned veteran, and a humble Midwest demeanor, Caitlin connects with fans across the country. She's not just a good player, she's relatable. You don't have to be a basketball expert to appreciate her game, you just have to love excellence. That's why the criticism stings. The players who critique her recognize her uniqueness. They see the packed arenas, the flashing cameras, and the fans proudly wearing her jersey, reminders that they're being overshadowed by her undeniable impact.